Okay, so get this. Elon Musk is tweeting about it. And even Donald Trump's on a Truth Social rant.
Yeah, wow.
It seems like everyone's talking about this new AI company called DeepSeek that came out of nowhere and is suddenly giving OpenAI's ChatGPT a run for its money.
Yeah?
You remember ChatGPT, right? It was like the Bitcoin of AI.
Right.
Everyone was using it. Everyone was talking about it.
It did seem like they had a total lock on the market, didn't they?
Yeah.
But then DeepSeek appeared, and within 2 weeks, bam,
Yeah?
it rockets to the top of the app download charts, completely eclipsing ChatGPT.
Yeah, and what's really interesting to me is that before this whole thing blew up,
Right.
nobody had even heard of DeepSeek.
Right.
So how did this seemingly unknown company manage to create an AI that's not just keeping up with ChatGPT, but in some cases is even outperforming it? What's the secret sauce here?
Well, think of it like this.
Okay.
DeepSeek has figured out how to offer a Tesla-level product at a used car price.
Okay, so break that down for me.
Their AI, called Foggy Beauty, has proven itself to be incredibly powerful. In early tests, it solved complex problems that even ChatGPT couldn't handle. There was this one instance where they gave these AIs a simple math problem.
Okay.
Just comparing 9.1 and 9.9.
Okay.
Believe it or not, most of them, including ChatGPT, got it wrong.
Right.
But DeepSeek, it nailed it.
Jeez.
And then provided the correct explanation, too.
So the AIs couldn't figure out that 9.9 is bigger than 9.1? Are you serious?
It sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
But it's a good illustration of how these large language models are trained.
Okay.
They can excel at complex tasks, but they can also sometimes stumble on seemingly simple things. In this case, DeepSeek's ability to correctly solve the problem and even explain its reasoning suggests they have a more robust and refined underlying model.
Interesting. So DeepSeek's AI is definitely smart.
Yeah.
Maybe even smarter than ChatGPT in some ways.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the cost. How does that play into all of this?
That's the real game changer. DeepSeek is free for individual users. You get access to an AI as good, if not better, than ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you a dime.
Wow.
And for businesses, they're offering API access at a fraction of the cost of ChatGPT.
Okay.
We're talking maybe 1/10 the price.
Wow. Okay, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
And how does that work? Walk me through how a business might use this and how the costs compare.
Sure. So let's say you're running a business.
Okay.
And you need a blog post about sustainable coffee farming, something around 500 words.
Got it.
If you asked ChatGPT to write that, it could cost you, say, $5.
Okay.
DeepSeek can write that same blog post with the same quality for something like 50 cents.
Right.
You can see how those savings could really add up for a business that uses AI a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
But then there's the whole open source thing, which I think has everyone really scratching their heads.
Yeah.
DeepSeek just released their entire language model to the public.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on there?
This move sent shockwaves through the entire tech world.
Yeah.
They basically took the blueprints for a cutting-edge AI and made them free for anyone to use. Imagine if Tesla released all of their self-driving car technology to the public.
Okay.
That's the level of disruption we're talking about.
Hold on. So you're telling me anyone can now download DeepSeek's model,
Yeah.
tinker with it, even use it to start their own AI company?
Exactly.
Right.
It's a total 180 from companies like OpenAI, who have built their whole business model on keeping their technology locked down tight.
Okay.
DeepSeek basically just flipped the entire AI industry on its head.
Okay, so we've got this super efficient AI that's free to use,
Yeah.
and suddenly everyone has access to the code. But this all had to cost something to develop.
Right.
How much did DeepSeek actually spend on this thing?
Well, that's another piece of the puzzle that's making people raise an eyebrow.
Okay.
They reportedly developed their models for about $5.6 million. To put that into perspective, OpenAI has reportedly spent billions.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know.
How did they manage to pull that off? I mean, wouldn't that mean they had to cut some serious corners to make something this powerful for so little?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Or I guess the $5.6 million question in this case.
Right.
One factor is the U.S. chip sanctions against China.
Okay.
Because of those sanctions, DeepSeek couldn't get their hands on the same advanced hardware as OpenAI.
Yeah.
They had to make do with less sophisticated equipment.
So they were working with less, but still managed to build something amazing.
It is.
That's impressive.
And get this, they also managed to train their models in just 2 months, which is incredibly fast.
Wow.
So we've got this company that built a cutting-edge AI for a fraction of the cost using less advanced hardware, and they did it in record time.
Okay, so who are the people behind this? Who is DeepSeek?
DeepSeek is actually a subsidiary of a company called Hangzhou DeepGlint, which is a quantitative investment firm with a heavy focus on AI and financial markets.
So they're basically using AI to predict the stock market.
They are.
Hmm.
And I think that background is important here.
How so?
Well, DeepGlint has years of experience analyzing massive data sets and making predictions.
Right.
They've developed algorithms that can spot patterns and trends in financial markets.
Okay.
It's not hard to see how those skills could translate to building powerful language models like the ones that power DeepSeek.
Interesting. So their expertise in finance might have given them an edge in developing this AI.
Exactly. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
The whole controversy surrounding DeepSeek and whether they stole data from ChatGPT.
Right. There's been a lot of talk about that online.
Yeah.
Some people are saying DeepSeek's AI is so good because they somehow got access to ChatGPT's data
Yeah.
and use it to create a sort of super ChatGPT. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's important to remember that DeepSeek is open source. If they had simply copied ChatGPT's code or data, it would be obvious to anyone who looked at their model. It would be like stealing a famous painting and then hanging it in your living room for everyone to see.
Okay.
You'd get caught pretty quickly.
So you're saying that the fact that DeepSeek is open source makes it less likely they did something shady?
Right. And then there's this DeepSeek's AI has a thinking process element that sets it apart from ChatGPT. It can actually show you step by step how it arrived at an answer.
Okay.
It's like showing your work in math class. ChatGPT, on the other hand, is more of a black box.
Right.
You put something in, you get something out, but you don't really know how it got there.
So DeepSeek's AI is not only potentially more accurate,
Right.
but it's also more transparent.
Exactly.
That's a pretty big deal, especially if you're using it for something important.
Exactly. It adds a whole new level of trust and accountability to AI. And again, it makes it even less likely that they simply copied ChatGPT's work.
Right.
They've clearly built something unique here.
Okay, so if DeepSeek is so transparent and their approach is so different from ChatGPT,
Right.
why is Microsoft making such a fuss about this? I thought they were backing OpenAI.
They are, and Microsoft is claiming that DeepSeek somehow accessed their data and used it to train their model.
But if DeepSeek is open source, wouldn't that mean anyone could see if they used Microsoft's data?
You would think so, right. But so far, Microsoft hasn't shown any concrete evidence to support their claims. And here's where things get a bit tricky legally under U.S. law. It's perfectly fine to use AI-generated content for training, even if it comes from a competitor.
So even if DeepSeek did use some output from ChatGPT to train their model, it might not actually be against the rules.
That's right. It's more of an ethical gray area than a legal one. But even if we set that aside, the bigger picture here is that DeepSeek has completely disrupted the status quo.
Okay.
They've shown that it's possible to build a powerful, efficient, and affordable AI.
Yeah.
And they've done it in a way that challenges the traditional closed-off approach of companies like OpenAI.
I'm starting to see why people are comparing this to the Sputnik moment.
Yeah.
You know, when the Soviet Union launched the first satellite into space and everyone in the U.S. freaked out.
It's a very apt comparison. That event kicked off the space race, and I think DeepSeek's arrival could trigger a similar kind of AI arms race between the U.S. and China.
Well, Donald Trump's Truth Social meltdown makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
He was ranting about China stealing America's technological crown and demanding that the U.S. step up its game.
Yeah.
What was that initiative he announced? Stargate.
Yes, the Stargate Initiative. It's a multi-billion-dollar plan to fund AI research and development in the U.S.
Okay.
Trump wants to make sure America stays ahead in the global AI race.
Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? But not everyone is convinced it's the right approach.
Okay.
Elon Musk, for example, has been quite vocal in his skepticism.
Musk, but he co-founded OpenAI, didn't he? Shouldn't he be cheering this on?
He did co-found OpenAI, but he's not involved with the company anymore. And he's publicly questioned whether the companies involved in the Stargate plan have the resources and expertise to compete with DeepSeek.
So we've got a potential AI rivalry brewing between the U.S. and China, politicians scrambling to respond,
Yeah.
and even Elon Musk weighing in.
I know.
This is getting pretty intense.
It is. And all of this because of this one company that seemingly came out of nowhere.
Right. I mean, DeepSeek's ability to solve problems that stumped other AIs.
Right.
Their transparent thinking process and their super efficient approach to development.
Yeah.
It's all very impressive. But honestly, I think the thing that's causing the most disruption is their decision to go open source.
Absolutely. Think about it.
Yeah.
If DeepSeek can accomplish all of this with limited resources and a more open approach,
Right.
imagine what other innovators around the world could do with access to the same technology.
It's almost like DeepSeek has thrown down the gauntlet and said, let's see what you can do.
Uh-huh.
It's a game changer for the entire AI field.
It is. And the ripples from this are going to be felt for years to come.
We've talked a lot about DeepSeek's success with text-based AI.
Right.
What about other areas like image generation or video creation? Is DeepSeek involved in those fields as well?
That's what's so fascinating about this whole story. DeepSeek is not content to rest on their laurels.
Okay.
They're already making major strides in areas like text-to-video and image generation fields, where even ChatGPT hasn't really caught up.
Wow. So they're branching out and pushing the boundaries even further.
Exactly. And they're doing it with the same open source philosophy that has made them so disruptive in the text-based AI world.
That makes me think about NVIDIA, the company that makes those super expensive chips that power a lot of AI development.
Right.
When DeepSeek took off, NVIDIA's stock took a nosedive.
Oh, yeah. It was their biggest single-day drop in history. Something like billions of dollars wiped out in a matter of hours.
Why would NVIDIA's stock be so affected by DeepSeek? I mean, they don't make language models, do they?
No, but they supply the hardware that a lot of AI companies, including OpenAI, rely on.
Right.
Those specialized chips were considered essential for training large language models.
Okay.
Then DeepSeek comes along, achieves incredible results with less sophisticated hardware, and suddenly investors are wondering if NVIDIA's dominance isn't as secure as they thought.
So DeepSeek's success is forcing everyone to rethink what's possible in AI.
Yeah.
Not just in terms of the software, but also the hardware.
Exactly. And there are even whispers that DeepSeek has found a way to bypass NVIDIA's proprietary CUDA platform.
CUDA. Remind me what that is again?
Think of it as the software ecosystem that allows those NVIDIA chips to work so well for AI.
Okay.
It's like the operating system for their hardware.
Got it.
If DeepSeek has figured out how to achieve similar performance without relying on CUA, it could have massive implications for the entire industry.
So they're not just using different hardware. They must be changing the entire game by developing alternatives to the established technology.
It's a bold move, and it raises a lot of questions about what the future holds for AI development.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see a wave of innovation using more accessible and affordable hardware.
Yeah.
All thanks to DeepSeek paving the way.
This whole DeepSeek phenomenon is pretty mind-blowing.
Is.
A company nobody had heard of a few months ago is suddenly at the forefront of one of the most important technological advancements of our time.
I know.
And they're doing it in a way that's shaking up the status quo and challenging the established players.
Absolutely.
It really does make you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
What else is out there waiting to be discovered? What other groundbreaking innovations are just around the corner?
And it makes you wonder what might happen if more companies embrace this open source approach.
Yeah.
What if the knowledge and tools that are currently locked away in corporate labs were made available to everyone?
Right.
What could we achieve then?
It's exciting to think about, isn't it?
It is.
The potential for collaboration and innovation on a global scale.
Yeah.
I mean, DeepSeek has shown us that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from the most unexpected places.
They have. And it's a great reminder that the future of AI isn't predetermined.
Right.
It's not just about the big tech companies and their massive budgets.
Yeah.
There's room for everyone to contribute, to experiment, to push the boundaries of what's possible.
I think that's what makes this whole story so captivating.
Yeah.
It's not just about a new AI model or a company disrupting the market.
Right.
It's about the democratization of technology.
Uh-huh.
About empowering individuals and smaller players to have a seat at the table.
And it's about the power of transparency. DeepSeek's decision to open source their technology has set a new precedent.
Yeah.
It's forcing other companies to reconsider their own approach to AI development.
You know, it makes me think about all those talented developers and researchers out there who might have incredible ideas,
Right.
but lack the resources to bring them to life.
Yeah.
With DeepSeek's technology now freely available, those ideas can finally see the light of day.
That's exactly right. The barriers to entry have been lowered.
Yeah.
The playing field has been leveled.
Mm.
And that's incredibly exciting. It's like handing someone a toolbox filled with powerful tools and saying, go build something amazing.
So what do you think? What will be the lasting impact of DeepSeek's arrival on the scene?
It's hard to say for sure, but I believe we're witnessing a fundamental shift in the AI landscape.
Okay.
We're moving away from a world where AI development was dominated by a handful of powerful companies with deep pockets.
Towards a more open and collaborative environment where innovation can flourish from anywhere in the world?
Exactly. DeepSeek has opened Pandora's box, so to speak.
Yeah.
They've shown that there's another way to do AI a more accessible and democratic way.
Hmm.
And I think that's a good thing for everyone, not just for the tech industry, but for society as a whole.
It's certainly a story that's worth following closely, and who knows? Maybe the next DeepSeek is out there right now.
Yeah.
Working away in a garage or a dorm room, ready to shake things up again.
Wouldn't that be something?
So listener, I want to leave you with this thought. If DeepSeek could achieve all of this with limited resources and time,
Right.
what could you accomplish with access to the same tools and knowledge? What problems could you solve? What innovations could you create?
The possibilities are truly limitless.
So go out there, explore, DeepSeek, dive into the world of open source AI.
Uh-huh.
Who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to disrupt the industry and change the world. This has been The Deep Dive.